So that leads us to the races in Seattle, and Dave Villwock on the water in Heat 1A, getting a win against a very game Jimmy King and the U3 piston-powered boat, which took a beating on Lake Washington.
Sometime during that heat, we punched the bottom of the boat in, so we probably lost about 10 feet at the bottom of the boat, and we ended up finishing the race that way. So not calling that the excuse, but be a whole lot more efficient with the whole bottom on it. So we may still have something for him Sunday yet.
Jean Theoret certainly had his game face on. Nate in Heat 1B, dominating in this heat.
Yeah, he sure is riding that boat as hard as he can, but they haven't yet found the combination this year. Let's hope they can do it this weekend. We'll see.
Jean Theoret hoping early wins translates into a win in the finals. Well, Nate, literally and figuratively, the doctor is in the cockpit as we get ready for the start of Heat 2A.
Yeah, they're coming down here for the start. This is a great shot. You can see from the driver's perspective what you're looking at coming down for the start.
We say it over and over again. One of the keys to winning a race in hydroplanes, it's the start. And they come down to the start line, and it looks like it is a clean start for Heat 2A.
J. Michael Kelly looked like he wired that one wide open throttle, and he's going to leave some room here in the first corner, we hope, for Dr. Ken Muscatel, who we're on board with right now. It's great. You can see the boat on the outside of you there, the advantage you get from the inside. You can see how he snuck up on the boat on the outside of him there. If you keep watching here, you might be able to see him again.
And Dr. Ken is really hugging the buoys very closely.
Yeah, Ken's done a great job holding the buoys in that old boat. He's doing a great job.
Good to see J. Michael Kelly back behind the wheel of the U2 boat after the Detroit incident where he flipped in the final. We talked about that earlier. He looks like he's running strong.
Yeah, the Graham Trucking boat's doing great out there. You know, he doesn't have the best handling boat in the world. This course is a rough body of water, but it looks like he's doing as good as he possibly can. Look at Dr. Ken Muscatel in there. He's really holding that thing great.
In races past, Dr. Ken Muscatel has had some trouble getting his boat started. He's been a tough luck competitor, but in today's race, he's looking strong, as is the Oh Boy Oberto, driven by Steve David. We're on board with him right now.
Yeah, and Steve's looking at those boats on his inside going, you know, I got to pedal harder to catch these guys because they're on the inside track. There's Graham Trucking. He's being able to hold that corner really well, giving room for Ken Muscatel and the Miss Rock. And this is really a great race. There's four boats there. Look at the boat on the outside. Now, the boat on the outside is the U3. He's got to be going about 10 mile an hour faster than the other guys to be able to keep up with those guys on the outside. So, you know, he's right in there.
Right now, it's J. Michael Kelly's race to lose in the Graham Trucking U2 boat, looking strong on Lake Washington, coming around those curves, and you really never know what these waters have in store for you.
You never know, because not only the water conditions, you have the boat wave conditions, and you can see Dr. Ken Muscatel's view there. He's getting ready to get hosed down here, it looks like.
Muscatel's keeping an inside track, but he's all of a sudden dropped from second all the way to fourth in this heat.
Yeah, he has, and I think he's lifting a little bit right now, knowing he's lost the overlap. He doesn't want to get wet, and this is, once again, just an elimination heat.
And the U2 Graham Trucking boat, J. Michael Kelly is driving it hard. The boat is bouncing around, but he's keeping it under control, building, extending his lead over Steve David.
And he's really trying hard. He hasn't won a heat all year, and this is the last lap, and he's got to get this thing home, get the points, try to get this Graham Trucking boat into the final here in Seattle.
All the boats are bouncing around those rollers from the log boom and everything else that Lake Washington has in store for you at Seafair. It is a rocky ride on the waters in the Great Northwest. Ken Muscatel glad to have his boat still running in a heat. Very competitive for this boat, but it's all about J. Michael Kelly looking to secure that first ever career heat victory.
Here he comes around that final corner. You know, he's thinking of the same thing. I'm going to win it. I'm going to win this heat. I'm going to win this heat. It's a great race here. Look at that. Ken Muscatel snuck up on the inside again, and he looked like he was going to be able to overcome the Oh Boy Oberto, but not quite.
And we are witnessing a little bit of history as J. Michael Kelly takes the checkered flag, his first career unlimited hydroplane heat win. And hats off to Jimmy King for building up a lot of boat speed down the stretch there and finishing in third place.
Yeah, he did a great job once again. Hold that boat speed. That's a fast boat.
And Nate, I think we need a little bit of an explanation. This isn't some victory lap for J. Michael Kelly, is it?
No, not at all. He backed off a little bit, and the fuel control on the turbine engine goes to ground idle, and once it stops, why start?
So here are your race results for Heat 2A. A well-earned 400 points for J. Michael Kelly, followed by Steve David and Jimmy King.
The boats are on the water getting set for the start of Heat 2B, and here's the lineup.
Mike Weber, Jean Theoret, Terry Troxel, Dave Villwock, and Steve Hook. So Villwock and Theoret get back on the water together for the first time since they were in the final heat in Tri-Cities. And all those drivers are heading around that famous log boom and those great rollers on Lake Washington. We'll have more on that log boom a little bit later.
And Jean Theoret's going to wire the start, I'll tell you. The other guys are way back there. So Jean Theoret looks like he's going to have a perfect start here. He's got the inside lane, the upper advantage.
Not only is it it a good start, a perfect start, but a big lead to start Heat 2B for Jean Theoret, trying to leave every one of the other boats in his dust.
Oh, he had a great start, and the other guys out there, I'll tell you, they just can't do that. You can't start like that against a veteran like Jean Theoret because, A, he's fast, he's on the inside lane, and you have to be right up there with him.
And if there's one thing we learned about the way Theoret drives from Detroit, he cost himself the Gold Cup because he was a little too aggressive. I think he would even say that to a man. Let's hope the same thing doesn't happen to him in Seattle.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, he's got a good lead. He's got to give some space. He's got to be a good, cautious driver. He's got this one in the bag.
And for all of his experience in race boats, it's his first season as an unlimited hydroplane driver. Oh, and look what happens there. He clipped the buoy as he made the turn.
That's a rookie move. That's a rookie move. But unfortunately, you know, that happened. Sometimes these boats don't come off the corners as well. You have to grab a lot of right rudder. So, you know, if you look at the replay here, you can see the boat just grabbed, turned left, just smacked that buoy square on. There's no hiding that one, Sean.
And is there a damage to his boat? That's the big question. I guess everyone's holding their collective breath to find that out, but it looks like the boat's still running fine.
Yeah, he's doing okay. He just hit a vinyl bag out there. If you bump a buoy, it's okay. If you dislodge it, it's a lap penalty, and there's no hiding that one. He dislodged that one for sure. Probably got about 20 feet in the air.
And now the whole complexion of this heat has completely changed. Jean Theoret looked like he was running away with this heat, and now he's a lap down.
Yeah, he is. And Terry Troxel out there being consistent. His foot's down all the way, too, as well. But unless he does something stupid, he's going to come away with a victory on this one.
And I think this is a picture-perfect example of two different driving styles. Jean Theoret a little more aggressive. Terry Troxel maybe a little more conservative in situations like this. But everyone has their moments where they have to pick their spots and try and make their stand. Now Terry Troxel is going to benefit from a mistake made by Theoret.
Yeah, Terry's a hard charger, too. You know, he's out there to win this race as well. He's got some equipment under him. He's got one prop, one gearbox. You know, he's got a certain agenda he has to follow, and he's following his agenda to the T.
So Terry Troxel looks to be the runaway leader of this heat right now after Jean Theoret dislodged the buoy. Jean Theoret still using this as what, some type of a test run?
Well, you know, right now he's using it to talk French inside that cockpit. You know what French he's talking about right now. So he's disappointed. I'm sure the team is too. But to his defense, you know, I'm sure there was a wave there that grabbed that sponsor. He didn't hit that. He didn't hit that buoy on purpose.
And it should be noted, points are points. If Jean Theoret could conceivably catch up and earn just a few points, it's better than no points at all.
You're right, exactly, 100%. Points are everything here.
All right, so we head down the final stretch. The checkered flag is about to fall, and it looks like it's going to be Terry Troxel picking up a much important and needed 400 points in Heat 2B. Terry Troxel is your winner, and that lucky number 13 comes through with another Heat victory.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. You got Sport Boat Northwest winning and FormulaBoats.com coming in second. There's a bunch of boat companies out there, isn't there?
As ironic as that sounds, in Seattle. Quick check of the results in Heat 2B. Terry Troxel with the win. Mike Weber, followed by Dave Villwock. Didn't talk much about him. That's because he had trouble even before the start of the heat.
Yeah, he was not able to score up properly. So
you put the boat where it had to be. You ended up winning that race.
Well, you know, we'll take what they give us. The God up above gave us this one, and a couple of the other guys. Where's that orange boat? I never did see him. Where did he come from?
Well, I tell you, he kind of messed up that start there, and he was way in the back.
Oh, he better check his check and make sure it's signed this week. You know what happens to drivers that do that?